Hello, I'm Dr. Harper. This video is on the syllabus of Management of Operations, BUSN 6630, the online version, Term B, Fall 2021. So let's bring up the syllabus. Now I start, the course is active from Monday, October 18th to Saturday, December 18th. And one thing is strict, that nothing is considered after Saturday, December 18th. Okay, I start with an overview. This first page is an overview of the entire course. And so we have 8 weeks, and week 6 is the break. The week is beginning Monday. So every Monday there will be a lecture and we'll look at Canvas here in a minute. We'll also have a quiz. I'll have a homework assignment and a memo assignment. And the quiz assignment is designed for the mechanics of the course. The homework is the applications. Then the memo is communication in a business environment. Now, first of all, the assignments are due through Canvas on Sunday, 11:59 p.m. And here are the dates. And notice it's October 18th through October 24th, Monday through Sunday. So every week we have Monday, starting Monday, we'll have lectures. I'll have videos. Sometimes there's Excel files that are available. And there'll be office hours and everything. We'll look at the syllabus here in just a second. The quiz is due. That's just an introduction to the mechanics. Now the homework is not due until the next week, the Sunday at the end of the second week, and the memo is Sunday at the end of the third week from when the topic was first introduced. Same with linear programming, topic 2. You have quiz 2, and then homework 2, and then memo 2. And same for 3 and 4. Now notice 1, 2, 3, and 4 will just have homework and memos. Topics 5 and 6 only have quizzes, and that's all. Now and then I have an exam here. The exam and individual project reports will be the last 2 weeks. You can take the exam anytime you want during those 2 weeks, and you can, as long as it is before Saturday, December 18th, 11:59 p.m. Nothing is considered after that date and time. After the end of the course grades are reported to the registrar and not posted on Canvas, but the grade on all of these will be posted on Canvas. But the course grade is posted to the registrar and not on Canvas. So the exam and individual project reports during those 2 weeks, December 16th through December 18th, 11:59 p.m. You can take it anytime you want and submit anytime you want. You can just only do it one time. And notice the exam was over topics 1, 2, 3, and 4. Topic 5 and 6 are not on the exam. They're just looking at the quizzes, mechanics, and applications. Okay, the textbook here is Heiser and Render. I'll talk more about that in a minute. The grading is on a percentage scale, and your grades are based solely on percentage of grade measure performance according to this table. Grades are not negotiated, and percentage determined from points earned out of points possible. In other words, it's on a percentage scale. The percentage of points you earn is related to a letter grade, and there's no plus minus grades, and 0.5% is rounded up, like 89.5% is rounded to a 90, which is an A, 89.49% is rounded down to 89, which is a B. Now the points, each quiz is worth 10 points, each homework is worth 20 points, and each memo is worth 20 points. The exam is 40 points and the project is 40 points. All that is 300 points. So really your grade is based just on points. There's no subjective grade here. It's just, did you do the work and was it done correctly? Okay, a summary here. The quiz assignments will emphasize the mechanics of each topic. The homework assignments will emphasize the application of each topic within a problem-solving approach, in a scenario, business scenario. The memo assignments will emphasize communications in a business environment. The exams are designed for evaluations. I'll talk a lot more about that during the course. And the project is designed to conduct independent research on a topic related to the course related to the course, but also of interest to you. Again, I'll talk a lot more about the projects as we get to the end of the course. The video resources are available online through Canvas. And I have synchronous physical office hours Monday and Wednesday, 2 to 3 in the business school office. Asynchronous virtual office hours through Zoom, Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m., the link provided in Canvas. And I will only wait 15 minutes for students to join. And so office hours, really, I mean, I will be there an hour or more if someone's there. But that doesn't mean I'll wait hours for people to show up. I'll wait 15 minutes. If no one shows up, then I close it. I have an asynchronous communication between the students through the question and answer link in Canvas on each of these topics as we go through, and the exam actually each week. There's a question and answer link for discussion. I mentioned this in the welcome video that all communication on the material should be through these Q&A links in Canvas. Not email, not Canvas messaging, through the Q&A links. Okay, now let's go a little bit deeper, a little bit more detail. The policies and procedures in this syllabus will be followed in the course and applied to every student. In taking this course, each student is responsible to know and adhere to the policies and procedures in the syllabus. Okay, I start with just a course description. This course description is out of the catalog. And so you can read in the catalog or here in the syllabus. Overview, a course overview and online course outline. First of all, the course design contains multiple resources to be utilized at each student's discretion based on learning styles, learning objectives, availability, and needs. And what I mean by that is that each student is different. I don't want to tell each of you this is how you do it. I'm saying here are the resources. Each student has to decide what works for them with all these resources. And so use all of them if you need to, or just use the ones that are most valuable. It's up to you to use all the resources if you need to. Resources include Word files, Excel files, and videos. Videos based on material in the Word files and Excel files. They include presentation of the material and application of the material. Now, the course design also includes deliverables in the form of quizzes, homework, memos, exam, and a project. Each type of deliverable has a specific learning objective. Quiz and homework deliverables are designed for learning. Memos are designed for communication. Exam is designed for evaluation. And project is designed for extension of the material beyond the course. Although each student is encouraged to utilize resources as needed, each student is required to submit deliverables when due. No late assignments are accepted, and that's strict, so be very careful to submit everything early, but don't submit it late because it's not accepted. No work is accepted or considered after the end of the course, which is Saturday, December 18th, 11:59 p.m. Primary communications will be through Q&A, question and answer link, in each topic module which is in a page embedded in a module in Canvas. The Q&A link is designed to facilitate effective and efficient communication between students and instructor throughout the course. Now, the Q&A links are valuable because you post them and other students could answer it. And sometimes a student can answer a question better than I can because they may be working on the same level that you're working at and go, oh, this is what I discovered. Now, sometimes I can, if the question is not asked specifically or in enough detail, I might give an answer that really doesn't apply to the question as you perceive it. So that's why the question and answer links where the students can share will be important. The course material, first of all, a textbook, which is Heiser and Render, and Canvas, because that's where all of the submission of the assignments are. Prerequisites, although there are no prerequisites for this course, knowledge and skills of mathematics, statistics, and Excel will be useful. Here's the reading material and textbook. This is Heiser and Render. It's about the level of rigor for this course. And down here are the required readings. And again, like I said before, and notice I say F. A lot of people say, what is FF? That's Latin for and following. Anyway, like etc. and exempli gratias. So, for example, so you have the introduction. Here are the readings. But each person, I have videos, I have Word files, I have all kinds of stuff. And here are the readings. So each student decides what's right for them. Okay, course objectives. This course will survey, it's a survey course of concepts, methods, strategies commonly used in the management of operations. There are three primary objectives here. First, recognition of problems. Then applications of techniques. Then communication of results. These three are emphasized through lectures, assignments, and exams. Now, the recognition of problems, sometimes I will pose a situation and you have to decide what kind of problem is it. Okay? But once you've decided what technique to apply, because what kind of problem it is, then applying the techniques correctly is important. And we'll cover that in this course. And then the communication of results, there's where the memos come in. The approach to the material in this course will include the progressive objectives of a basic understanding of the underlying concepts of operations. 2, a proficiency in the application of tools to operations problems. And 3, an ability to formulate, evaluate, and critique operational strategies and experience in communicating results in a business environment. And that's what the resources are for, and that's what the deliverables are for. This course should provide the student a capability to independently acquire a workable solution to commonly encountered operations problems, or to be an effective leader or contributor in a team effort dealing with operations issues. Okay, course management. This course contains reading material, online resources, quiz assignments, homework assignments, memo assignments, exam, and a project. So all of those are part of the course. Course grade is solely based on students' performance. I've already mentioned that. Grades are not negotiated. Follow the common rounding conventions for calculations in this course, especially related to grades, assignments, and the exam. Never round during calculations. Let me say that again. Never round during a calculation. Don't round a number, then use it to calculate. Only round presentations. You only round the final answer to present the answer. You never round during a calculation or computation. If rounding to unit digit, then 1.5 is rounded to 2, 1.4 is rounded to 1. Okay, the quiz assignments, homework assignments, memo assignments will be available through Canvas. You download them, you work them, and then will be submitted through Canvas. You upload and submit them through Canvas. Quiz assignments, homework assignments, and memo assignments are designed with different objectives. The quiz assignments are designed to cover basic material, like the mechanics, definitions. The homework assignments are designed to apply a problem-solving approach to operations problems, a scenario, a business scenario, a working business problem. And the memo assignments are designed to communicate results from a worked operations problem to different audiences, which include an outside client requesting the work or to an internal party documenting the approach taken in obtaining the results. And you'll see here in just a second, when I talk about these memo assignments, there'll be two assignments, one for the client or the clients, there may be multiple ones, or different ones. And you have to say, oh, here is how they need to understand this. And the other is for internal document for your colleagues, because they have the technical background you do. No late assignments are accepted. Make sure you're very careful with that. Here's communication. Communication during the course will be primarily through the Q&A link, the question and answer link in Canvas. Use the Q&A on Canvas for discussions between students, for asking questions about the material, answering questions about the course material, sharing information, or other collaborations helpful for learning. A lot of people organize study groups. I will join the Q&A weekly and respond appropriately throughout the course. Appropriately means I don't give out answers, but I will answer questions on how to work the problems. If you do something wrong, if you don't understand something, then I will say, well, here's how you would approach it. The videos should be adequate, but every once in a while people ask questions about the material. Although collaboration is encouraged throughout this course to learn the material, each student is required to submit original work. No collaboration is allowed on the exam, and only submit an originally composed memos and originally composed individual project reports. Now that doesn't mean you can't collaborate on those, but do not collaborate by using someone else's written work. You compose and write your own memos. You compose and write and submit your own projects. Okay, collaboration is encouraged throughout the course except for exams. Except for the exam, composition of memo assignments, and the final composition of the projects. However, each student is responsible to submit work based on their understanding and ability. What I mean by that is you don't just copy from someone, you collaborate to understand, and then from your understanding you submit your answers. Although collaboration is encouraged, collaboration is not required. Lack of collaboration does not eliminate a student's responsibility to submit assignments when due. Collaboration can include study groups utilizing external and internal sources. No collaboration is allowed on exams. Now, for this course, I will be available during physical office hours and during virtual Zoom office hours. And all that information is on the first page of Canvas. Office hours are drop-in with no appointment needed, and office hours information will be available on Canvas. Canvas messaging or email are less efficient, less reliable modes of communication, and take care to use these modes only when necessary. I want to emphasize that because email, even Canvas messaging, it doesn't always get to me. Sometimes it doesn't even get to me at all. And sometimes it gets embedded and I miss it. It's easy to miss email when you get dozens and dozens and hundreds. Communication concerning the course material will be directed to the Q&A in Canvas. Should email be necessary for personal communication, like private communication, use the email address here and include BUSN 6630 so I'll know which course it is. Okay, quiz assignments and homework assignments. Quiz and homework assignments will be assigned and graded. Quiz assignments and homework assignments will be available on Canvas and submitted through Canvas. No late assignments are accepted again. Answers to assignments are posted on Canvas after the due date. Now this paragraph is important. Quiz questions and homework questions will be posted on Canvas. Carefully follow this procedure. 1. Download the questions from Canvas, which will be in a Word file. Do not open the submission link. Download the questions, the quiz questions and the homework questions, which will be a Word file in Canvas. And I'll show you where they are in just a minute. Obtain your answers for all your questions. Only when all the answers are ready to submit, submit all the answers through Canvas at one time. Each student is responsible to submit answers through Canvas correctly, completely, and on time. Answers may be submitted only once. Assignments submitted will be accepted as an entire assignment and graded as an entire assignment. Once you begin submission, you have only 60 minutes to submit all the answers to an assignment, only if all the answers are submitted on or before the due date and time for the assignment. So there's three ways to submit. Okay, let me get through this, and then I'll go back. The due date and time are strictly enforced by Canvas. Canvas will not allow submission after due date and time, even during the 60-minute time window. The entire assignment must be submitted on or before the due date and time indicated. No late assignments are accepted. Assignments not submitted have a grade of 0, and the answers to the quiz and homework assignments will be posted online after the due date, no partial credit. So the idea here, this idea is this. There are three ways to submit your assignments. One, you input all the answers, and by the way, when you open up the quiz and the homework, there are no question and answers in there, just letters or numbers, A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you submit, look, oh, it's answer A, it's answer B, and those answers are in the Word files. So you have the answers, but the answers will go, oh, it's answer number A, it's multiple choice. Sometimes you upload, sometimes you answer, but you have everything ready to go. And then you click B, B, A, B, C, D, A, 1, 2, 3. So when you're done, then you submit. Well, you have 60 minutes to do that, but I see the time, and a lot of times people only take like 3 or 4 minutes to do it, because just click, 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 and you're done. 10 for quizzes, 20 for homework assignments, and they're quick to do. But there's 3 ways to submit it. 1, you submit everything and click submit. Boom, it's submitted. 2 is that if the 60 minutes is up, it will submit it. 3, if it's the due date and time, 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, boom, it'll submit it. Now, if you have not clicked submit and it's still during the 60 minutes, then the due date and time, Sunday night, 11:59 p.m., will supersede the other 2. If you haven't violated the due date and time and you haven't submitted it, the 60 minutes will supersede the submission. And finally, submission will be the only one that will not be superseded. You have to do that yourself. Okay? So the order is first submit before the other 2. Submit in the 60 minutes before the due date and time, 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. And finally, the one that will preempt or supersede all the others will be the due date and time, 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. Okay, so that's important. Okay, follow the common rounding conventions for calculations in the course. I've already mentioned that. Never round during calculations, only round presentations. Okay, any grading errors on the assignment should be resolved as soon as possible. In other words, let me know. Sometimes things get mixed up, and sometimes there's a mistake. And so let me know, and I'll correct it. No corrections to grading material will be made after the end of the course. Collaboration is encouraged to aid in learning the material, but not required. Although collaboration is encouraged, students are expected to perform their own work. Okay. The memo assignments. The memo assignments are small case studies. I will make available an assignment memo that will initiate work from each student. Each memo assignment requires 2 submissions, a response memo and a technical memo. Each memo is limited to 1 page. Submit both memos in a PDF file. Design the response memo for the business environment that effectively communicates a professional response to the party requesting the work in the assignment memo. The response memo guidelines include succinct but adequate, as well as originally composed, professionally prepared, and following a common format. The complete response memo must be limited to 1 page. Now, in that 1 page, you can have text, you can have tables, you can have graphs, however you do it. But it's only 1 page. And it's to the client, it's to the requesting party, it's to the a business person. It's not an academic report, it's a business memo. The technical memo, design the technical memo to outline the details of the approach and quantitative methods utilized in obtaining the results presented in the response memo. The technical memo shall contain enough detail to support, describe, and adequately generate the technical portion of the response memo. The technical memo guidelines include succinct but adequate again, as well as originally composed, professionally prepared, and following a common format. The complete technical memo must be limited to only one page, which could be tables and graphs, but it's only one page. Now, one thing on the technical memo I want to strongly emphasize, and I'll count out if you don't do this, that it is a memo. You don't just take a snapshot of a Excel file or a table and just post it. It's a memo. In other words, notice it says support and describe. Okay, just putting numbers and equations is not description. So make sure you do describe adequately how the details of your approach. Okay, outlining the details of your approach by describing it doesn't mean you put numbers on a page. So it means you actually describe it. Each memo must be self-contained, complete, descriptive, succinct, and limited to one page. Okay, what does that mean? Generally, a self-contained memo would not reference material in the other memo. In other words, in the response memo, you don't say, oh, the answer is in the technical. Or the technical says, well, like I said in the response. No, each need to be self-contained. A complete memo would contain all the content to adequately achieve its objective. Don't say, like in response memo, well, I've solved it, but you can get this. I can send it to you later. Everything needs to be in that memo. A descriptive memo would contain a presentation that has literary competency. Again, it's a memo. You have to describe things with words. It's not just numbers or graphs. A succinct memo would not contain superfluous or inappropriate material. You don't say things that don't apply. Just say it's very succinct but adequate. The composition of the memo should reflect their different audiences, and each memo has a different audience. Objectives, each memo has a little different objective. Scenarios as defined in the assignment memo. Although the response memo and technical memo are self-contained, they must correspond. In other words, if the response memo gives these answers, the technical memo needs to support those answers. Here's how the approach you took for the material you presented in the response memo. They have to correspond or coordinate. Any item presented in the response memo must be supported in the technical memo. Consider the response memo to an external communication document, a design for the business environment, and the technical memo an internal support document for internal review and support for the response memo. Okay, the response memo must be no more than one page in length. The technical memo must be no more than one page in length. Both memos must be submitted together in one PDF file, 2 pages. Submit only 2 pages, no title page, no attachments, no appendices, and submit through Canvas. Now, if you don't do this, I will count off because that is the guidelines and that's the requirements. Both memos are required to be composed in a professional manner, typed, dated, etc., adhering to the common format. 1. Title identifying the type of memo. In other words, a title up here. What I mean by title is response memo number 1, 2, 3, 4. Technical memo number 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top. 2. A foreign-line header where the student provides the information in italics. So each memo starts with the first line is a title. The header information is date, put the right date. 2, put the party in the response memo. From, your name. Subject, come up with an appropriate title. Now the technical memo is the same except it is to me. So I'm part of the team and you're giving it to me. I'm going to disseminate it to the team. I'm like the secretary. Okay, memo composition and plagiarism and academic dishonesty. I will be grading on memo format. The format is up here. This is the format. I'll be grading on format. And content. What you say in there. that contains technical accuracy, adequate answers based on the client's requests, and an appropriate response within the scenario presented. Notice what I don't say here. I don't really grade on how well you say it. And some people, English is not their primary language; it's their second language, and I don't grade on how well you say it. I'm grading if you say the right things. Okay, and so be careful and edit it, and be careful how you say it. And if you say it incorrectly, if you say something wrong, then the contents are incorrect, and I'll grade off. But I don't grade on literary expertise. Okay, however, each student's judgment of content and composition should reflect their knowledge, personality, and communication style. What I mean by that is you create your own memo. It's your memo. It's not what someone else does. It's what you do, what you think is the best way to do it. There's 4 of them. And as you do 4, you can get better and better and better. At least that's the design and that's the intent. But each memo must be original and should exhibit professional quality and value. Collaboration is encouraged to aid in learning the material but not required. Most importantly, collaboration should be limited to the calculations, analysis, understanding of the content of the memo assignment, but not the creation or composition of the response memo or technical memo. Each student is required to do their own writing, composition, production, and submit originally composed work. Don't copy from other people, and don't let people copy from you. That's the same as academic dishonesty. Essentially, the same response memo or technical memo, or portions thereof, submitted by 2 or more students will receive 0 and would be considered a violation of academic dishonesty standards. Academic dishonesty is considered to be cheating, and the incident may be reported, also be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School for further action. Do not assist another student by allowing them to see a copy of your written work. Academic dishonesty includes copying from another student or allowing a student to copy from your work in part or in whole. The purpose of the memo assignments are to test your understanding of the techniques, your ability to correctly apply the methods presented in the business context, and your ability to communicate these concepts in a business environment. The exam given in this course will be designed for evaluation. Now, what I mean by evaluation is that learning happens in the quizzes and the homework. Communication happens in the memos. But the examination for evaluation, I just want to evaluate that you do know the basics. I don't try to ask you things you don't know. I want to ask you things you do know. Therefore, I'm very careful to try to ask you things that you do know. Okay, an exam study guide will be available to prepare for the exam. The exam may be taken only... Now, this exam study guide, in this study guide, I'll tell you exactly what to study. Come in prepared. It's open book, open notes. Come in prepared, and usually you have 60 minutes to take the exam. Usually people are done in 5-10 minutes, if you're prepared. And if you're not prepared, you can only take it one time. The exam may be taken only once. Exam will be multiple choice, open book, open notes, and timed. No collaboration is allowed. You only take it yourself. Collaboration is cheating. No communication devices such as phones are allowed. No sharing of material or equipment is allowed. In other words, you can't share answers or anything on electronic equipment. Each student must take their own exam with no outside help other than material from the course. Don't Google the answers. Do it only from the material in the course. If academic dishonesty occurs on the exam, the student will receive a 0 for the exam. Any incident of academic dishonesty may be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School at UCD for further action. No exam will result in a 0 for the exam, and no work accepted after the end of the course. For this course, exams will be online through Canvas. The online exam must be taken before the end of the course. Answers to the online exam will not be open until after the end of the course, because people can take it any time during the last 2 weeks. Okay, until after everyone's taken it, or I will open up the answers, or after the end of the course, December 18th, 2021, Saturday. Okay, the projects at the end of the course. Each student is required to conduct independent research on a topic based on material related to the course. The deliverables for each student are an individual project report and an individual project presentation. Each student must have a different project. Project instructions will be provided during the course. And these instructions will be a combination of, well, here's the kind of report I want you to make. Down here, I'll pretty much talk about this again. Also the formats down here. But also project instructions will emphasize that this project should be yours, not mine. I give you some ideas, but I want you to go beyond this course. It's an extension. It's not working something in the course. It's going beyond the course. It's research. Apply it to some area or learn something we didn't learn. And so every student should be able to do that, no matter where they are, no matter what they do, no matter what level they're at. They should go beyond the course that you're taking. So the course should be considered a foundation and start building on that foundation, starting with this project. Another part of the instruction is here's how you do the presentations. And I'll talk about how to do it, how to make an MP4 video. The project grade for the student will be 10% on the presentation and 90% on the report. Okay, because the presentation is very little percentage, mainly because it is more of value to you than it is your grade. That presentation could be extremely valuable to you on a personal basis and a takeaway for this course. The originally composed individual report shall demonstrate the student's knowledge of the research and an ability to effectively communicate the knowledge appropriate to a business professional. And notice business professional, not an academic instructor, a business professional. These are business communications now. Each individual report must be unique. In other words, do your own. And the length of and don't copy from any one or any source. Do your own. The length of the report should be more than 2 pages, roughly, and follow the guidelines of succinct but adequate. The length must be enough to adequately present your work, and the length can be considered a negative if too long and content is not significant. Now, I put out 2 pages as an example. That seems to be long enough and adequate to say what you want to say from your research, with graphs and tables or whatever. Okay, submit the completed individual report only through Canvas as a PDF file on or before the due date and time. Each report may only be submitted once, may only be submitted as a complete report, and must be submitted by the due date and time. A report not submitted has a grade of 0. No late reports are accepted. Each student is required to submit original material for their individual report. Although collaboration is encouraged to conduct research, collaboration does not include copying from another student or allowing a student to copy from you on individual work that is submitted. Now, submit your report through Canvas PDF file. Do not use a cover page, but use the title below on the first page where the student applies. In other words, you make up a title. This is the title of your report on the first line. The next 2 lines will be exactly that. By and put your name, put the date, and then down here, 1 to 2 pages, or 2 or more pages, 1 to 2 or more pages, your content. Now, the project presentations will be an MP4 video submitted online through Canvas. The project presentations are presentations of a summary of each student's research contained in the individual report. Each person is required to present. Each person will be limited to approximately 2 minutes of presentation time. Less is more. And you can say, because it's a summary, it's an outline. It's not everything you learned, it's a summary, an outline of what you've learned. 2 minutes is more than enough time to do that. For each individual presentation, do not read your report or cover detail in your report, but present general overview of significant findings from your report. The individual report contains detail, but the presentation contains significant findings. Communicate content appropriate to the objectives expected within each mode of communication. Details in the report, an overview, outline, significant findings are in the presentation. Okay, finally, general information. First of all, your assignments. Assignments consist, again, of quiz assignments, homework assignments, memo assignments, and a project. All assignments are submitted through Canvas. Only under special circumstances, assignments accepted by other channels of communication will be accepted if accompanied by a justifiable date timestamp. In other words, only under special circumstances, let's say Canvas went down or something happened or you couldn't do it and oh no, you can't submit it through Canvas for one reason or the other. And that does happen. As long as you use other channels to get it to me, like email, then as long as the date that you have a date time stamp, it's on time, and it's before the due date and time, I'll accept it. So even though it's required to be submitted through Canvas, if I get it by the due date and time, I'll accept it and grade it. No problem. No, I won't count off. But that's only under special circumstances. Don't do it all the time. If you start submitting it, from all these different means, you don't even try to do it through Canvas. In other words, do it through Canvas first. If you can't, then other channels will be accepted. Late assignments will not be accepted. Each assignment not received when due has a grade of 0. Grades will not be posted online during the course. Final course grades are submitted through Registrar and not on Canvas. No corrections to the grade will be considered after the end of the course. Again, I say this again. I've said this many, many times. I'll do it again. Nothing will be considered after the end of the course. Everything has to be done between October 18th and December 18th, 11:59 p.m. Academic dishonesty. In the event academic dishonesty occurs on an assignment or an exam, the work will receive a grade of 0. Any incident of academic dishonesty may be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School at the University of Colorado Denver for further action. Conduct. Now, they've asked us to put this in the syllabus. I think it's a really good idea. Strict adherence to the Code of Conduct, as stated in the catalog of UCD, is expected by everyone at all times. This link will go to the Code of Conduct. Now, this Code of Conduct applies to students, faculty, staff, everybody. Okay, university information, procedures, and policies that govern university environment can be found through Human Resources. This link is for Human Resources. Again, there's a lot of information there on all the policies and procedures, and that's an important link. FERPA, Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, are required by law to follow. So this is by law. And so FERPA will be followed. And this is a link to FERPA. In other words, your answers, your work, your information, I can't divulge that to anyone except you or people who have a right to know or need to know, and are right to know. And the need to know has to be accompanied with the authority or right to know. Just because someone wants to know or just because someone is related to you, I can't give out that information, and I won't. FERPA restricts that information to be let out. In other words, you have to allow it, or people with authority within the university can also see it. Any current or potential indications of violations of verbal or physical disruption or intimidation can be reported to the campus assessment, response, and evaluation team, the CARE team. So this team, you report any violations of verbal abuse, physical disruption, physical abuse, anything, any problems going on, whether they're overt or even covert, or even just things moving in the wrong direction. This is an assessment team. It's an assessment to go and evaluate things, to assess things, and maybe respond in a positive way. It's not to punish. It's to support and move people away from violations of verbal, physical disruption, or people getting hurt. Any verbal or physical incidents of violent or disruptive behavior can be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School at UCD. Conduct also includes etiquette that is respectful to all people, facilities, and the institution. So be careful what you do, even be careful what you say. So let's all have respect for each other to create an environment of learning. Commitment expectations. Taking this course represents your commitment to perform the work when due. Faculty policy have stated that classes in the business school should require of their students a workload in and out of class that enhances quality education and is consistent with the amount of academic credit granted for a course. This course requires work due on a regular basis. It's a 3 credit hour course, graduate course. Incomplete grades are not given in this course. I don't do that. And finally, policies in this syllabus applies to each student equally. And that is said for 2 reasons. One, sometimes people think that they should violate some of these policies because they feel they should have special treatment. And I won't do that. I won't violate the policies and procedures. For another second reason is that the people who don't violate should be assured that I will not change that for people who feel that I'm pressured to violate. And it does happen quite often that people say, you should do this for me. I said, I'm not going to do it. Okay, I will consider, however, I will consider special circumstances. But standards will not be compromised and all work must be completed during the course. Okay, any action taken by, for example here, special circumstances. Okay, Canvas went down. You submitted it through email by the due date and time. Fine, I'll accept that. Yeah, that's fine. I understand that. But I have not compromised any standards. You did submit it, your work, on time, by the due date, and it was submitted on time. So I will accept it. But I won't accept anything after due date and time or after the end of the course. Any action taken by me that might be taken as varying from these policies should not be caused to eliminate or alter a student's responsibility to adhere to all requirements of the course or to prevent my action in enforcing the policies in the course to every student. In other words, if someone, like there have been instances where I have to do something a little bit different for someone, and they ask me, and I go, sure, I do it. That doesn't mean I'm going to be doing that for all hundreds of people. That was a special case. And when I do that, standards will not be compromised, and the work must be done by the due date and time. Okay, well, that's all I have for this video for the syllabus. Now, when you go to Canvas, let's go to Canvas. When you go to Canvas, here's the syllabus, there's a video, and as I said in the welcome video, each one of these pages in the module, the forecasting, will have a Word file. I have a video file, and I'll have, you download these questions. You download the question, you open it up, and you notice when you open this up, what you have here is you have a question and answers. A, B, C, D, E is the answers. A, B, C, D, E is the answer. A, B, C, D, E. And so the answer of these is multiple choice. A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E. Sometimes it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so your answer is just letters. Okay? And so when you come, let's come back to Canvas. And so when you come down here to submit your quiz or your homework, then all you're going to see is just question 1, A, B, C, D, E. Which one is it? You click the letter, which is the right letter. So you bring to the submission the letter answers to each of the questions. Same for the homework. Now, sometimes on the homework, you're uploading a file, have the file ready, a PDF. The M1 submission is a PDF file. Upload a file. It's a PDF. And Sunday, if we look in the syllabus here, Sunday at these dates, 11:59 p.m., they're due. But the very next day, on these dates, I post the answers. Okay, and then the answers here will be down here at the bottom. And notice blue means it's live. Black means it's not live yet. Once it's live, I make it blue. Okay, so all these are live right now. Okay, so back to home, and so there's the layout. Okay, now down for the exam and project reports, I have a study guide and a video file, a study guide here, and down here's the submission. You can take the exam here, and down here you can submit the project, a PDF file, and here's a Q&A for both of them. Now you can only do this one time. You can't keep doing it only one time, so be very careful. And the Q&A for helping each other out. Okay, well that's all I have for this video. Again, I hope this helps. Between now and the next time I see you, I want to urge everyone to be very safe and take care.